Welcome in, everyone, to episode 105 of Instigate Success, building an ABA franchise. Your host, as always, Jake Schoen, aka Jakey Muffins, here, the official podcast of the Hoosier State Instigators. We are wrapping up just a few weeks away from our opening game of season three. Actually, it's a couple of weeks now, not a few. So just 2 weeks. We've got until that, not the home opener, but the first game for the Instigators. Got that scheduled for November 1st. But let's start off by saying thank you to all of our, everyone who's watching this, all of our Patreon members. If you're watching this on Patreon, thank you for being a subscriber. If you don't already subscribe to Patreon, now would be a good time because we've got the games coming up. And that is how you're going to be able to watch the games if you are not going in person. So you can become a Patreon member today. And when we do have those games, you can watch those games by becoming a subscriber at the dollar tier or higher. We do have higher options as well, one of which is that fan voter tier. That's a $10 tier or higher. And that gives you exclusive access to votes that are at the same level and weight as ownership, such as myself. So something cool. If you didn't already know that about the Instigators and the Apex Athletic Collective, definitely something to check out. And again, thank you for everyone who joins us here. We got the podcast here Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, trying to get back on schedule and doing that regularly. Still slacking a little bit on the social media, but we are working towards getting that back on track. We'll have those announcements up here. Hopefully this week we'll be back on schedule. But working on that, and got a lot of stuff coming up here soon. But again, just a reminder. So if you're not already a Patreon member, by the end of this month, if you're looking to watch those games, you're not able to make it out there. I recommend that you get the become a member so you can watch those games. And you can also, again, if you have not already bought the season tickets, they're still up right now. You can buy those season tickets. Once the season starts, I think we're going to take that price back to normal. But you can get your discounted tickets right now for that $49.99. And that is for all of the home games. That is 10 games. That's half price. If you do it compared to the regular pricing, half price for all the home games there. That is obviously 10 home games plus any games that are at home for play in or play off games. And a reminder, our home venue is the Best Choice Fieldhouse in Fishers, Indiana. Same home venue as last season. So we're really looking forward to that. And building the crowd there. We're actually working on kind of finalizing some stuff for possibly our first uh, theme night, celebrity player, all that sorts of things. So that'll be fun once we have everything, kind of squared away at 100% official. We'll have that announcement to make, but that is again a teaser. I think we might have teased that a little bit before as well, but that is. Something we're pretty close on to getting that finalized now, but it is going to be a really fun weekend for that, just as any of our home games, but that one especially. I think we're gonna have a lot of stuff. Hopefully, kind of special for that particular game, which will be pretty cool. Um, so once that gets finalized, you'll definitely see those posts up and shared. Again, we'll be fixing up on my end for the social media, trying to get that back on track. And we've got the schedule. If you haven't already seen it, it's up on our social media. So this is for the first half of the season, the 2025 portion. So as I said, the home opener is not their first game, but we got our first game November 1st. We've got a double header weekend. So first and second, we've got games scheduled. That is against the um, Grizzlies, if I'm not mistaken, as far as the team name. Uh, is it the Capitals? No, I think it's the Missouri Capitals, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Missouri Capitals is the is it Grizzlies? Man, blanking right now. But yeah, so we got that first game. Let's see if they've got it up over here. I know I've got it written down as well. But we'll skip and then we'll come back to that as I look for uh, the document that I have that tells me. But then our second game is against the Spirits. I can tell that because it has the logo right there, and the logo has the team name on it. Um, yeah, it is the Capitals. Okay, St. Louis Capitals. I had thought so. It is the St. Louis Capitals. Um, yeah, so that'll be a doubleheader weekend there. St. Louis Capitals and the Spirit. We'll play them on the first and the second. So, starting things off with a road trip, doubleheader road trip. So that'll be fun. Then we've got the home opener against the Ohio Kings. Always a great matchup there. Obviously we're still looking for our first win against the Kings, but we've had competitive games against them, and they're always a higher scoring team. I think that is kind of what we expect. Same this year. That it will be a higher scoring event again. But that is one of our kind of first season teams that we played a few times in our division. And we're back in the division now, so some of these teams will be facing off. We've seen a few times before. We got the Louisville Pros following that. Another team that we faced off a few different times, and we've got a pretty good series between them. I think those are typically kind of the opposite. They're on the lower end of scoring, um, but those are more a lot of defense in those games. So it's kind of a good back to back, I think, with that. And then we got the back to back the following. Um, as well. So we go on the road against the Kings and then on the road against the Pros. So we have, kind of those gauges to mark and see how we do as far as playing the teams for the second time. Um, that first game against the Kings, then we're gonna have that second game later in the month against the Kings. That's gonna be a good kind of litmus test to see how our team improves. From one game to the next against the same opponent, and then we'll have another comparison right after against the Louisville Pros. Then we have the 13th and the 14th. This is a really fun weekend. And I think any of these matchups we've got scheduled against the Shuckers, we've got the doubleheader weekends because, obviously location wise, we're pretty close to each other. And it makes for a fun doubleheader weekend. It's a home and away series, but it's not too much travel for either of the two teams. So it's going to be a really fun weekend there. December 13th and 14th, home and away game against the Indiana Shuckers. And again, this is the Shuckers' first season. Being a team that's fully eligible towards like playoffs and play-ins in the ABA. So, team we've faced off against a few different times, with the preseason matchups, and even with the Gold Cup last season playing in the IBL. So a team we're familiar with, and they've actually got a few familiar faces. Once I think maybe next week we'll take a look at like the rosters around the league, and hopefully have our final roster graphics and all that, so we can go over that and break them down. Um, but some familiar faces on that. If you didn't see already on their social media, they had posted, I think, 3 players that have experience on the Instigators, most of which from our first season. Some actually, I think they played first and second season. Um, believe, if I'm not mistaken, it had JoJo on there, um, Chuck, and Joe. If I'm not mistaken, unless I'm forgetting someone, but I think those were the 3 that I had seen. So it would be a really fun matchup, I think, for that weekend and all of our games against the Shuckers. Then we got the final game of 2025 is going to be a home game against the Indian Legends. So that's also another team that we are familiar with. We played a few different times, and we've had a favorable record against the Legends, but they were very competitive last season, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table this season. I think they made a huge step from our first season to last season, and I think they're going to make another step here this year again as well. So be a fun game, a competitive game, and also bragging rights as far as the state of Indiana in any of these matchups with the Shuckers and the Legends. So always fun to have that on the table as well. Then we jump into 2026, the second half of the season there. We've got a couple home games to start things off after the break. Actually, we have a break. Yeah, pretty decent break there. 20th of December to January 10th. So all the holidays and such get the time off. But we got the January 10th matchup against the Monstars, Midwest Monstars, the team we had on our schedule last season. But this will be the first time we actually get to play them. And then we go into the next Shuckers series. So again, a home and away matchup there, January 17th and 18th. Again, that'll be a lot of fun. And if you're planning on going to the game, that's kind of uh, you can go to both of those games. It's a 2-for-1 kind of weekend where obviously not tickets are 2-for-1, but like you can go to both of those games if you're local in the area. It's not too far away compared to some of these matchups that may be in other states. So it's going to be a fun weekend there. Then we stay on the road and we go against the Windy City Inferno, so up in Chicago, a team that we have not played yet, but a very good team last season, who was in our division last year. Um, that we had seen them be very competitive, ranked in the top 25 throughout a good portion of the season. So another team that we are going to look forward to those matchups and see how we rank against them. And then the Nashville Aces, again, that is another road game. And actually, that's a back to back, it looks like that weekend there, too. So, two back to back weekends to start, not to start, but in the to end out the middle of January. So, that's a decent bit of travel, I do think, from Chicago to Nashville. So, got a little bit of a road trip there. Then the uh, game on January 31st brings us back home against the St. Louis Spirit. Um, then we've got a good portion of home games there for a little bit in February. Got the game against the Bison, South Bend in Bison, new team in the ABA. This will be their first season, so it'll be a good matchup to. And then again, that's another Indiana team. Bragging rights for that one as well, but a good team to see what they've got to bring on the table for their first season. And then we've got the Windy City Inferno, and that's going to be our home game for us there on the 21st. The Capitals 28th. So a couple of teams that we have not played before, kind of to wrap out the season. And then the final game on our schedule is that March 1st away game against the South Bend Bison. So few teams we haven't played to kind of wrap up that later part of the schedule. But we do have familiar teams there in and throughout the season. We got the matchup against we got a couple of matchups against the Kings, a couple of matchups against the Aces. Or I'm sorry, the Pros. We've got one matchup against the Aces and one matchup against the Legends, and then I think four matchups against the Shuckers. So be a fun season coming up. Again, home venue is Best Choice Fieldhouse. You can get your tickets on that season tickets. You can scan the QR code there and get your tickets. Then you know give you a glimpse as well. We had put this out on Facebook if you didn't see this, but a glimpse of our website. So we've got a new website, and let's go over there. So this is our new website. You can do instigatorbasketball.glide.page and you can get there. But you can see, yeah, you can get your tickets here as well. You can click on any of these games to buy the tickets. You can click there to get your season tickets. Uh, got some little news articles here. You can get W. You can click there. It gets you right over to w.gg, which you use that code there, Apex Athletics, for 10% off your order. I forgot to bring out the W uh, Tumblr, but I have that as well. Get your merchandise here. Shop all the items. So watch some highlight clips, and then obviously our Patreon link there as well. So that's our new website, and shout out to Malcolm Martin for helping with this website. If you need somebody to build you a website, we highly recommend to hit up Malcolm, and he can do some great work like this for you. And I don't know if you can see if I click this, but if you click up at the top there, you can also download this as an app as well. So like a web-based app, especially like if you're on mobile, you can do that. Um, so just a cool thing to share as far as that goes. And I know we looked at it last week, or yeah, last week, but we'll take another look at the ABA power rankings as we go into the season to kind of see how the league feels about things. So again, no shocker at the top. It's the Chicago Fury, undefeated last season, defending champions back-to-back seasons. Chicago Fury currently not on our schedule, which would be the first season if things play out without us playing them that we had not that we would not play the defending champions. So interesting thing to keep an eye on. We also got the Silicon Valley Panthers at number 2, a team that we've seen in the Final Four the past 2 seasons as well. Austin Bats, I believe, went undefeated in a regular season, with their only loss coming in the postseason. So makes sense for them to be up there at 3. Buffalo Extreme, a very talented team again, number 4, and we've seen them in the past couple of seasons, very competitive last season in the Final Four. The season prior, knocked out by the team below them, the Binghamton Bulldogs, who made it to the Final Four instead. But those two teams are always kind of neck and neck, being in the same division as well. Makes it a interesting matchups anytime they play, or same regions. Makes it a fun matchup for that those two teams. You see, that's their top 5. You can skim through and read here some of the other teams we have played similar opponents. 402 Elite, we have not directly played, but we've played similar opponents. They were in the same division. No, they were in the same region as us last year. They'll be in the same region again. So 402 Elite, competitive team there. Atlanta Aliens, a team we've seen ranked consistently as well. Nashville Aces, obviously a team that we have played every season, and we will be playing again this year. The Indiana Lions, number 13, a team that we've played in our first 2 seasons, not currently on the schedule for this season, but we did get our first win against the Lions last year. So it'll be interesting to see how they rank throughout the season. Also, a lot of kind of changes with that organization, um, with as far as like the coaching and such. So we've got them. Scroll through here. And I think that kind of wraps out as far as the teams that we have played. Columbus Skyhawks, even though that's in Ohio, I don't think they are a team we're typically playing. I think they're in the Eastern region. And then my local hometown team, sorta, is the Central PA Kings. So we got them in there as well. Um, but that is the top 25 power rankings for the preseason. See there, they got the cool logo, the 25th anniversary of the reintroduction of the ABA. So it is 25 years since that. So just a cool little tidbit there. We got that. And, with the Apex Athletic Collective, obviously we got the Instigators. This is the official Instigators podcast, here every Friday night. We also had a stream last night. I didn't get a chance to catch it, but if you didn't catch it, it's over on our Twitch. So the Apex Athletic Collective Twitch, you can go on to that over on twitch.tv/Apex Athletic Collective. And you can catch our Dark Web Wrestling episode 6 last night. And you can see there we got a good number of views from there. But I've heard great reviews from everybody who has tuned in and has been keeping up with that. You can see there at the bottom, little preview here, the standings, the Muffin Maestros at the top. I may have something to do with the Muffin Maestros. So that is possibly my team there. So the with the nickname, but you can catch that and watch that, rewatch it, I should say, over on our Twitch. So if you didn't get a chance to catch that Dark Web Wrestling, you can also catch up on the other episodes there. I believe it's also on the Dark Web Wrestling YouTube channel. So obviously this streams here on the Hoosier State Instigators YouTube. We've also got the Dark Web Wrestling YouTube. So catch it over there too, or on the Twitch. But we did have that last night again. A lot of viewers there as well for the live stream. And we've got something else kind of in the works. So it's not officially announced, but we're pretty sure this is going to happen. So I might as well just share it. And then this week we'll post it if it is official. So we're working on doing another trunk or treat. So this is something we had done over the past couple of years to kind of get things ramped up for this season. But this is the one we are working on right now. So this will be Halloween Fest. It's next Saturday at Lucas Oil IRP. If you don't remember, we had a tent over there at the NASCAR and trucks in the Arca Menards race this past season. And we had our logo on Brayton Laster's car, which you can get the die cast for now. You can order that off of Brayton's site. You can also order it off of Lionel. It's a pre-order and it will be out probably around May or so next year. But we'll probably be here for this event, Halloween Fest. It's a really cool event, actually. It's more than just a trunk or treat. They've got a bunch of races. So there's a bunch of races. I mean, this stuff opens super early in the morning. Spectator gates at 11. But you can see here, these are all the races. So racing schedule. We've got the midget practices. You're gonna have practices in the races. But you've got midget cars, sprint cars. I think there's others. Or is that pretty much it? Okay, so yeah, there's different levels though, but you can see they're qualifying after the practices, ceremonies, and then you got the races. You got the National Pavement Midget race right there. And then you got the All-Star Midget race, and then the 500 Sprint Car. So you got 3 races there throughout the day, which will be pretty cool. You can come out and check those events. Then we got the Halloween Fest in the afternoon and night. So we've got the NHRA, just like the drag racing, North Central Division racing starting early in the morning. Then we've got the gates open there. We got a car show for Halloween Fest, 5 to 9. And then the trunk or treat's going to be happening during that same time with a costume contest at 8 o'clock. So if you plan on going out to that, that'll be a fun event. And then we've also got share this screen as well. This is through the Indie Hood Rats, who is presenting that Halloween Fest. So this is theirs as well. But again, that it was technically supposed to be tomorrow, but it's actually going to be next week. And again, we're just finalizing some stuff before we officially announce this. But even if we're not there, it's still a fun event for anybody local in the area. But you can also, if you have a car and you put it in the car show, you can register your cars here. Um, there's also like a VIP section as well for the cars. But if you are interested in that type of stuff, it'll be fun to check out. You can see here kind of the same kind of scheduling as far as that goes. Trunk or treats, costume contest, and they have a special guest. Michael Myers is coming. So for all of you Halloween fans, Michael Myers is scheduled to come. But you can see there are VIP car show spots, non-VIP car show spots, and anybody that wants to come out, you are definitely welcome to do that. Um, but that is next weekend, the 25th, the next Saturday. So that'll be fun. You can also just come out and check out these events as well. It's free parking and a free event for anybody that wants to come out to the event. Also got the costume contest, so don't forget to bring your best costume. There's a bunch of different categories there: best adult costume, best couples, group theme, child, infant, booth and canopy setup, car decor, truck decor, and overall ensemble, vehicle and costume, which unfortunately I can make the announcement because I had hopes and aspirations of doing so, but it'll have to wait till next year. Unfortunately, Two Wicked is not ready to make that trip up to Indianapolis. So I will officially not be dressing up as Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force and driving up to Wicked. So fortunately, breaking news on that end there. Hopefully next season or next year I can do that. But hopefully, we can get the instigators and instigators out for this event, have some fun with the fans again. I know that was a lot of fun last time we were out at IRP. So this will be, I'm sure, a lot of fun as long as we can get everything lined up to do this and for the trunk or treat on the 25th. So that is gonna be a fun event. Again, even if we don't make it out, I think it's fun for anybody that's interested in this type of stuff. Trunk or treat, car shows, racing, anything like that. Fun event there at IRP. You can see there, special guest is Michael Myers. So you got that. Here's your little map too. So if you haven't been to IRP, this is the main oval track right there. They've got a drag strip over on the other side right here. Mouse was a little too far left, but right over here, it's all connected there. It kind of has a little gap for some reason right there, but no, it is all connected. But you can see, so this is kind of like from the main road view, and you can see over back here, the main gate's back here. You got your general parking, entry gate, vendors here, food, VIP, interactive, non-VRP car show and booths, as well as the oval track pits are right to the side of that, and you got the oval track racing right there, obviously at the oval track, where we had seen the Arkham Menards and Truck Series races. You can see here's some of the things you'll see there. Got some of these cool things coming out. And again, this is kind of the same thing that you've seen over at the other side as well. But here's some pictures from last year's event here as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. Definitely something I think it is definitely worth coming out and checking out. Again, we're working on getting that finalized for us to be out there, next Saturday, and hopefully I can make it out there. We'll have to see about that. But Two Wicked won't be making it. At least we'll have to wait at least another year for that. But I think once we do that, I do that, I have a feeling I should. If I don't, I'll be a little upset, but I think I should win the best ensemble, the car and costume together, because it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like have the car and the costume, quite literally. But anyways, that's not the point. The trunk or treat is next weekend. Again, we'll have some announcements once we get everything finalized and squared away for that. And again, once I get around to finalizing these graphics, we'll start posting the rest of the roster. We'll put up a full roster as well. But we've got just a couple weeks until the season kicks off, season 3 for the Hoosier State Instigators in the ABA, and we got that double header road trip in St. Louis to start off the season against the Capitals and then the Spirit. That's November 1st and 2nd. Then you got our home opener, November 8th against the Ohio Kings. And we would love to see you guys out there for that home opener. Um, Again, I'm planning on being there. Hopefully I'll be there for the home opener, but I do have that film shoot scheduled the same exact day, so we will have to see as far as that goes. I don't have the time frame for that yet, but if I show up to the game in a bunch of special effects and whatnot, with like or look like I'm in a costume, it would probably be because I drove straight from the shoot to the game. But that is probably something I will wind up doing. So that'll be fun. Anyways, we hope to see everyone out for the games. Again, Best Choice Fieldhouse, Fishers, Indiana. Get your season tickets. It is a lot of fun, and it is a venue where you have basically a front row anywhere you choose to be, and great seats anywhere. So lots of fun. Always something I look forward to doing. I try to be up there at least once a month for a home game, and I plan on doing that again this season. Again, we're also working on our first like official celebrity player. So hopefully that gets booked, and then we can make that announcement. You'll see that on social media there as well, and that'll be with a theme night. Kind of around that too. So that'll be fun. But once we get everything finalized, that's when you guys will start seeing that. Lots of stuff just to kind of hammer out before we get into the season. Just a couple of weeks away. So it's not too much longer until you start seeing all these sorts of announcements. Again, I'm going to try to finalize these graphics and whatnot, get our social media pumping and going again, get that back on the track. So once we hit into season, we're back and rolling. Uh, but again, thank you to everyone who watches and everyone who is a supporter of the Instigators and the Apex Athletic Collective. Um, and we will be back. We'll see you guys next week. That's pretty much it for tonight's episode again until I get all those graphics together and everything squared away for the official announcements. But we'll be back next Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the next episode of Instigate Success, Building an ABA Franchise, the official podcast of the Hoosier State Instigators. But again, thank you for everyone who tuned in. If you're catching this, on delay over on YouTube or wherever, don't forget to become a Patreon member, especially once that season kicks off. If you want to watch those games live, so you can get the insider access to the Apex Athletic Collective and watch the Instigators games live over on our Patreon. But that does it for tonight. Thank you as always for joining. And until next time, be great and instigate.